Acharya.
Lopamudra Jain.
Lopamudra Acharya, sir.
Acharya, Acha. Give yourself introduction. We must know you.
Yes, sir. Sir, I am Lopamudra Acharya. I have done my schooling from St. Joseph's High School, Bhubaneswar. Thereafter, I have done my higher secondary studies from BJB Junior College, Bhubaneswar. After that, I pursued graduation in National Law University, Odisha, and I completed my graduation in the year 2020.
You are studying National Law University.
Yes,
Odisha.
sir. Yes, sir.
Have you completed PG?
No, sir, I have not done my.
Why?
Sir, after my graduation, I started preparing for the judicial services, so I haven't done my master's yet.
Yes, you could have done it.
Yes, sir.
I was your first register in National Law University, for which I'm interested to talk to you. Okay?
Yes, sir.
First register of your university. Anyway, so you want to make an entry into judiciary. Which article provides you to be a member of judiciary in lower judiciary? Under what article you will get your appointment?
Sir, as far as I remember, Article 235 to 238 deals with subordinate judiciary.
34, okay. 34, you can make an entry into subordinate judiciary. Okay? So, by birth, what right you accrue? When you came to earth, saw the light of the earth, what vested right was there with you?
Sir, my vested right that was there with me was my right to life, firstly.
Right to life and liberty.
Under Article 21 of the Constitution of India.
And if simultaneously you acquire a right to the property or of your parents' ancestral property, you gain a right by birth. Isn't it?
Yes, sir. I also have a right by birth.
Then by virtue of a child, childhood, you have a right to your education. Do you know? Compulsory.
Yes, sir. Under Article 21A of the Constitution of India.
From which age that right is vested?
So from 6 to 14 years of age.
Okay. Now I will ask you that law provides, Constitution provides that the right to equal opportunities there. Isn't it? Article 14.
Yes.
But there is a reservation in job which discriminates you. Is it wrong law or not?
Sir,
Tell.
Sir, reservations are a form of affirmative action that is given by the state. It is not particularly discrimination, if we so to say, because under Article 14, like are to be treated alike and unequals are to be treated unequally. We cannot treat everyone identically, but we have to treat similarly placed people similarly, and that is why reasonable classification has to be made, and that is why Constitution has provided reservations for women, for certain backward classes of citizens like scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, and there is a form of affirmative action, and that reasonable classification that has been made has to be seen in the light of the fact that there is a intelligible differentia and there is a rational nexus that is there with the intelligible with the object that is sought to be achieved by the statute that has been made. So this does not violate the principle of equality.
constitutional provision to discriminate because for backward classes that upliftment has been given to them under Article 16.4. So it is not bad in law.
Yes.
So now you born on earth, you became child, you studied, you got an opportunity of having a job in judiciary. So as a magistrate, so now you are in judiciary. Can you try a case where you are a witness?
Sir,
That's the occurrence. Can you have seen, you are a witness there. Can you try that case?
sir, I think no one should be a judge in one's own cause. So if I
Yes.
have a interest in any case, it should be against the principles of natural justice if I try it. So,
Yes. Acha. What is the important event which happened in India within a day or two? What is the historical news for us?
So yesterday on 11th of December, the Supreme Court upheld the validity of the decision of the Union government or the Parliament to abrogate Article 370 of the Constitution of India. That has been upheld. However, the Supreme Court has stated that the procedure that was followed to abrogate 370 was improper, and the procedure under 368 has to be followed. A backdoor route or a circuitous manner of bringing about an end to Article 370 by not following constitutional provisions, that is something that has been held to be bad in law. However, the decision to abrogate 370 was upheld.
Supreme Court was appreciated or commented that the decision of the President is constitutional.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there is no defect to that. As another incident, that few new laws, acts were to be passed, for that have been written by the Constituent Assembly.
Yes, yes, sir. Has
Acha.
been written, the 3 new bills will be reintroduced with modifications and amendments again.
The future is with these new amended acts. Okay. So what is mortgage?
So by mortgage, we mean that for a debt, for particularly if a person takes a debt, and for that he gives a security for that debt in the form of the property, and that secure. And when we secure that debt by mortgaging our property, that is called mortgage. Sorry, sir, I'm not able to recall it properly.
Property is placed for incurring loan but debt, that is a mortgage. Mortgage is how many types?
Sir, as far as I can recall, there are 5 types of mortgage. I'm not very sure about that, but there are 5 types of mortgage.
Occupatory reduction like that. Ticket taku mane pakaibo. You have read, but
Yes.
suppose one graveyard is there, burial ground is there. Can anybody wound the sentiment of a public for religious feeling? But a graveyard achi,
Okay.
a burial ground. Can anybody insult to the religious feeling? Under which?
Sorry, sir. May I know the question again?
270, 277, 500, the keyboard. And if you will cause some, if you will own the sentiment of general public, religious feeling, graveyard, nobody can damage it, nobody can insult it, nobody can dishonor to that.
Yes, sir.
My suppose as a judge, he must have a widened mind. Even if graveyard we must respect to that graveyard of the dead person.
Yes, sir. Yes,
No,
sir.
give respect to that. देखियो 278 to 2096 ରେ ରହିଛି 297 98 ରେ ରହିଛି ହେଲା 499 define ହେଇଛି what is defamation
Yes, sir.
ହେଲା what is crime
What is, sir, can you repeat the question?
what is the definition of a crime
Crime. Crime is an act which crime is a act or a which shocks the conscience of the society. It is an offense where a mental element is involved of a guilty mind, and the guilty mind is accompanied with a wrongful act. That is, mens rea is accompanied with actus reus, and that gives effect to a crime.
Crime is wrong which is committed against the individual or society, violating the law. Crime is punishable, associated with punishment. But torture act doesn't have any punishment, only that is compensated.
Yes, sir.
Torture act is only entitled to get compensation.
Yes,
Tort and crime, you have to distinguish.
yes, sir.
Crime is associated with punishment.
Yes.
Crime is initiated by the state or at times by private person, private complaint. That. So, but in tortious liability, that is a civil wrong, one has to pay compensation.
Yes, sir.
Now I'll put a question. Suppose your neighbor has a barking dog. It barks probably day and night. Damages the peace living in the night. What remedy is available?
So if my neighbor's dog, if the dog of my neighbor barks constantly, this causes injury and annoyance to me. And if it is causing injury and annoyance to me, just personally in my personal space, then it would be a private nuisance. But if it is affecting the public at large, it would be public nuisance. And
That
I
is to be
can
guided understood. Tortious act that
Sir, for public,
you can restrain him, that injunction can be granted, or compensation may
Yes,
be
sir.
paid. Civil wrong.
yes,
What do you mean by appointment of receiver?
sir, a receiver is an officer of the court.
Appointment
Sir,
of a receiver.
Yes, sir. Sir, receiver is an officer of the court who is appointed by a civil court for various functions. For example, if a property is to be sold, then a receiver might take charge of the property. Meanwhile, the property is to be sold, or to take care of the property till the execution proceedings are completed. The receiver is appointed for various functions, and the receiver is answerable to court. He has to collect the rents meanwhile, and he has to
Disputed
he is,
property into his custody, takes care. He is liable to give accounts. Order 40 rule 1 देखियो ହେଲା why a receiver is appointed and what is his function? What do you mean by injunction? What do you mean by
network problem?
ଓହୋ ଆଚ୍ଛା ଆଉ ଥରେ ଶୁଣା ଯାଉଛି ହ୍ୟାଲୋ
Sir, just again, sir.
What do you mean by temporary injunction and when it is granted? Are you able to listen?
Sorry, sir, there was some network issue. So, temporary injunction is a kind of interim relief that is granted by the court for a specified period, and it is granted under Order 39 of CPC. And a temporary injunction is granted on three conditions: where there is when there is a prima facie case in favor of the plaintiff, and if injunction is not granted, it will cause irreparable injury to the plaintiff.
What are the basic elements to be need to consider?
There is balance of the balance of convenience is in favor of the plaintiff.
No, three things have to be considered. From prima facie case, balance of convenience, and irreparable loss. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
What do you how to distinguish theft and extortion?
So, in case of
what is the definition of theft?
so the theft is defined under Section 378 of IPC, and according to theft, when whoever moves property, movable property, in possession of another without that person's consent, moves that property in order to such taking, is considered to commit theft. So there must be a movable property in possession of some other person, and the person who is accused of committing theft must have moved that property and must have taken the property out of the possession of the person. And in extortion, what happens is that in theft, the property is taken by the person who is committing the theft. In extortion, there is a delivery of the property by the person who is in possession. So, some kind of a threat is used by the person committing extortion, and thereby the person who is extorted, he is made to deliver the property or any kind of valuable security, and the threat might be to the person himself or might be to some other person as well.
Theft, just I'm reminding you, theft is whoever takes away the property of another without his consent and
Without his consent.
Without his consent and a wrongful loss. Suppose I took a piece of a small paper from your pocket. Will it be theft? No. It must cause some wrongful loss. Understand? That element must be there. That is theft. Extortion by putting into fear. Takes away dishonestly and gains for personal gain. That extortion, you will read more and you will define. Last question. You have chosen to be a judicial officer in the state judiciary. Which article empowers you to choose any profession? By virtue of which article?
So Article 19(1)(g) of the Constitution gives freedom to choose any profession, trade.
Okay. Just lastly, remember what are the fundamental duties?
So fundamental duties has been given in under Article 51A of the Constitution of India, and out of the many fundamental duties, one of the most important is to uphold the sovereignty, integrity, unity of India, to respect its national anthem, its symbols, to strive for excellence in every sphere of individual and collective activity, so that nation constantly rises to higher levels of achievement. And to one of the latest inclusions has been cast upon parents to send their ward or children to school who are under 6 to 14 years of age. That is also one of the fundamental duties, and to preserve and protect our environment also is one of the fundamental duties.
fundamental right and fundamental duty. Remember and choose your profession. How come that for
So what is your opinion on natural justice?
It's principles of natural justice are one of the inalienable principles, and in every sphere of activity or in every judicial making or in administrative decisions as well, the principles of natural justice has to be followed, because that gives rise to a just decision on the case. And the Supreme Court in Maneka Gandhi, while overruling A.K. Gopalan, has stated that a law should not be merely a product of the legislature. It should be just, fair, and reasonable. And thereby, the Supreme Court has given effect to the principles of natural justice in making legislations. And I think natural justice as a principle is very important in judicial decision making or in administrative decision making as well.
Justice, it is the need of the hour. Natural justice plays a vital role while giving judgment. Okay?
Another maxim is there that one cannot blow cold and hot at the same time.
Yes, sir.
It has a relation to a specific branch of law.
One cannot blow hot and cold together. Where it is applicable in a judicial system, she wants to know.
Sir, if I may take a guess, is it applicable to? I think it is applicable to the rule of estoppel. If a person has made a promise and the other person has acted on the promise of the other person, then the person who's made the promise is prevented from going back on his representation if the other person has already acted upon it. So the rule of estoppel gives backing to the English idiom, one cannot blow hot and cold at the same time.
While examining a witness, that is also something said contradictory, while saying contradictory hot and cold. So that is also
Yes.
yeah.
Who is the Chief Justice of India now?
The Honorable Justice D.Y. Chandrachud is the Chief Justice of India.
Who is the Chief Justice of Odisha? Good.
So the acting Chief Justice of Orissa High Court is Honorable Justice Vidyut Ranjan Sarangi.
Dr. B.R. Sarangi.
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Justice B. Sarangi.
Vidyut. Okay.
Okay, thank you. We should success.
So the second filter to 75.
72 then.
So we assessed you 72.
Okay, sir.
72 horses.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Namaskar, sir. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Namaskar.